It is time to get down. Surge, OpTic, ready to go to war, and this place has been waiting. I mean, even during Crim's interview, everybody popping off, getting ready to go. Joe, we've been doing this a long time, and we know the crowd likes to get behind some OpTic gaming. They enjoy it quite a bit, but I feel like Surge has kind of quietly become like a team of the people because, you know, they've been horrible for 2 years, but they get on LAN and now people are like, they should be at playoffs, and like there's this whole support thing going on. Do you think that affects the crowd at all?
No, I do not. I think we all know who they are going to cheer for when they come out. You know, obviously, yeah, people have gotten behind Seattle. Octane, he puts out some good content, but the green wall is the green wall.
That's kind of what I'm expecting as well, but let's get ready to meet our teams. The first one we're going to check out is Seattle Surge, making this Cinderella run. You know, maybe expect the first couple of wins. They beat London and Paris. Nothing all that shocking there, but now to come in and beat FaZe, that was pretty unbelievable. That was special. Nobody saw that coming. And when you think about the last couple times they played Joe, when they played OpTic, like these are series that are going the distance. Like they played them, whether it's been online or on LAN, like we're going 5 maps most of the time.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's 1-1 the last couple of times, but Major 4 was OpTic. Well, they were able to win that in game 5. I guess we're meeting the Seattle Surge.
Fire coming in, but can Prestinni win this too? No. He does. That's 3 straight. Dashy versus Octane, and it's Sam who's able to come away with it.
On a classic. Trying to line him up in the final!
Looking to find a few more, but Gunless absolutely rips his way through the 3 of them.
249, Seattle won! I'll tell you what, Joe, I thought the crowd might be behind Surge a bit here. They're coming in with the upsets. Nicky D playing out of Genie. Octane, it might look a little bit like Earthworm Jim, but he's a monster. He's been frying, he's been beaming, and Gunless, calm as always, just focused on the map at hand. Can Seattle Surge come in with another upset?
Well, I mean, let's not lie about it. Yeah, OpTic fans were pumped up when they wondered why, because, I mean, who wants to play Atlanta FaZe? That's really the big thing there. Yeah, they were able to take them down, but they were pumped up for that. They know for them to go on a run this tournament, it's, well, a little bit easier through this team, right? OpTic is 4-1, but you said it. The way Nicky D was playing that last series, they're playing with confidence right now. They have nothing to lose, and, well, that's it. They do not have anything to lose. They're playing with a swagger.
Yeah, I mean, that was bringing me back, right? Like to the, I don't know, LG rosters of old, or, you know, when you had that classic and Octane pairing, one flying forward like a madman while the other one beams everybody around him. Like we've seen it before. The S&D is where we've also seen it struggle so much, but Classic went big. They got the W. Excited to see if they can continue to improve and make this run.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, right? They were able to take that game number 5, and yeah, Classic, I mean, he had himself a series. He really did, especially in that game 5, but they played with confidence. They were taking map control away from Atlanta FaZe. We know that in the respawns, they can compete with the best teams in the world. They have some superstars on the squad, but a lot of it is behind that submachine gun duo. Prestinni and Classic are playing well. It's a tough team to beat. We've been saying that all year, but they can be inconsistent. Can they keep it up for another match?
Well, now the moment I think a lot of fans have been waiting for. Seattle Surge's competition for this match at Major 5. Let's meet them. OpTic Gaming.
Brutal, mighty Crimsix going in formal, looking fantastic. Envoy slaying his way through. Scump from up high, the king.
I'm out here doing what they thinking is irrational.
Really starting to run that score up.
I'm gonna make it bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, OpTic Gaming are back. Chicago are a force to be reckoned with.
OpTic Gaming, I think the fans have been ready for this one. Scump, the most famous ginger in the world, Big Brucey, Envoy. They're getting ready, locked and loaded with Piper to win this one, to move on. It's been a tough year when you think about getting to finals, consistently performing in like the top 3. Like they haven't been a very good team this year, but Joe, there are moments where they click, where they look like they can be. there's going to be another moment. Now it's as good as any.
Yeah, I mean, get to Championship Sunday. I think that's what they're telling each other. We saw what they were able to do last major, and it's those top teams. They want to rematch against Dallas Empire, but it starts with Seattle Surge, and they have to focus. I know they're, maybe they wanted to play Seattle Surge. They preferred that, but Seattle is a very good team. And again, in the last two matches, it's gone all the way to a Game 5. They had to go to a Game 5 at Major 4. In that map 5 at Majors, it's haunted OpTic a little bit. So they got to focus on right now the crowd behind them. You know they are going to be fired up.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a bit as we get into our game field keys to victory. And just for OpTic, Joe, like, yeah, the crowd's got to be part of it. Like, it can be a good and a bad thing in a way.
Yeah, 100%. First thing is feed off the crowd, right? Play with that adrenaline. But a little bit too much going, a little bit too much excitement, and, you over-challenge and stuff. So play with some discipline. And, well, Formal, he's got to find his footing and search and destroy. 3-15 yesterday against Toronto Ultra in those two maps. And, well, this was his best stage for S&D at a 1.09. So can he turn around, get a little bit more active, and expect the unexpected, right? I expect Nicky D to hit the middle of the map. Prestinni to be flying at you. The communication has to be better here.
Yeah, no, Classic's unpredictable. Yeah, that's a good key to victory for sure. But Joe, what do you think about the Surge side of this?
I mean, Nicky D's that guy, pal. He really was against Atlanta FaZe at a 1.14 overall, and in the Search and Destroy a 1.67. I don't know if he could ever say that, truly. I mean, unbelievable stuff. And 1-6 versus OpTic this year, they have to find a way to just win that one. Is it going to be a map 5 or is it map number 2? And the AR duo has to anchor this team down. Octane and Gunless need to perform, because the fact is, Maeve, we've seen Prestinni and Classic go from one map to another where they look like they're the best to, well, the opposite of that, right? The worst. So if they run out of gas, Gunless and Octane need to keep them composed.
Yeah, no, I mean, they've been two of the more consistent players in their roles throughout the course of their careers. I mean, maybe not always at MVP or #1 AR, but they've been good at all times. And yeah, that consistency could be huge here, but I don't know how to feel about this. Like, OpTic should be the better team, but Surge seemed to be clicking. And it's funny because what did I ask you before that final stage match? Surge versus Guerrillas. And I think I said to you, like, if they came out 3-0'd, would that maybe convince you they could make a run? And you were like, nah, not really, just based on how they've been playing. But they win at 3-0. They look really strong, and it seems they've ridden that a bit here right into the event.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a no for me on that game, but the last match we saw against Atlanta FaZe, yeah, I believe it now. They can make a run. It's a little bit of a different series. And you saw the maps. We're starting off with Moscow Hardpoint, one of the bread and butters for OpTic. They're 3-0 in this stage, 12-6 overall. But I think you feel pretty good about the maps and vetoes for Seattle Surge. The Hardpoints, it's AR dominant. It's Moscow, it's Raid. It's a lot on that rotation. And this is where that discipline comes into play.
Countdown started. It is time for our map 1. One team moves on, one team gets packing. OpTic Chicago, Seattle Surge. Let's get right into Moscow. We'll start off with Scump and OpTic's POV. As the battle for mid-map goes down. And just nades everywhere. No trophies available. At Prestinni and Classic, likely the opening you want to see. They soar forward. They win the fight against the two subs of OpTic Chicago, and Classic keeps on rolling.
Well, they get another 2, right? The next layer is on up, but this is what you want to see. This SMG duo can be a scary one. They play with aggression. They do it again. They have all 6 kills to start this game. And well, OpTic, they have some street control, going to try to push on up. A nice start here for Seattle Surge. It's about this rotation to the second hill as Octane just going to wait for a couple of spawns. And on this second push, Scump's going to find 2 and get on that hill.
Due to the early success, you get Octane in a powerful spot. Formal, though, gets the angle to take him out, so that... Where's the spawn come in? Look at Octane all the way out on the other side of the map, but who's stepping up big for the team? It's going to be Classic and Prestinni again.
Spawns,
a 5-1 start for Classic. But yeah, they spawn in right behind him. All 3 are going to pop. As Gunless is trying to push forward, but this could work out beautifully for OpTic, as they're now into the point.
Yeah, I mean, just as that hill spawns, that spawn is wide open. And while OpTic a couple off, they die, they spawn right as that hill pops. They get the spawns, and I mean, it's just the position of Seattle Surge. Nobody was that safe position, but that's going to be 3 dead. for Seattle Surge. Is Scump going to be the last one alive? And that was a little bit too easy. The gun's still hot for Seattle.
Yeah, you just got to think with Octane spawning out and tracking back. Yeah, that's what gets forced and left open. But what a great answer from Surge. Considering the spawn that comes in, now with 20 seconds left, nobody in the point, but OpTic have got the position. But that'll allow Surge to now get set up for third. And when they're at their best, Octane and Gunless are in their power spots, locking it down, and that's exactly what they're going to get. We'll see if they can get the opening hold as OpTic go back out in front.
Yeah, but you take that if you're Seattle, a nice start, plus you have rotation over to third. And OpTic, they're taking their time. Formal and Scump trying to work through towards bank and trying to set up a bit of a pinch, but due to the sort of forward position of Prestinni and Classics, they're able to find that first kill. And OpTic's still so far away from this, from really putting together a first push. 20 seconds off that hill clock, and that was easy. It's for free right now. They're still finding kills. They're still finding the numbers. There's 3 down. Gunless now on a 5 spree. 5 in a row for him.
And this has been beautiful. I mean, as long as like Prestinni or Classic is getting 1 kill up front before they're traded, you're setting up a pretty easy gunfight for Gunless and Octane. That's exactly what's happened. We'll see if he can get the streaks here. This Gunless is just 1 off the artillery. But we'll track over to Scump and their push out towards bus side. But Octane already going to be in a position. I don't think him or Gunless drop over the course of that entire hold. Can Gunless go big when he moves across the map and get those streaks? But we'll focus on the action closer to the point. As Gunless is starting to rally over, we'll see what kind of play is needed from him.
Yeah, Formal just on the hill, just getting up that time. Gunless, there he is, just trying to stay alive. You see him sliding. And while this is going on, OpTic, they're just on the hill. They're on the hill, but Prestinni and Classic flying out of bait, now have numbers advantage. Can they bait for him? They sure can. There's the artillery for Gunless. He's able to rotate on over. There's the streak. Can he get another one? There's the cruise in. For Pierce as well, that was 8 in a row. They still have a 30-second lead, and the streaks are in.
Gunless is popping, but Chicago is piecing right now as they get back into the point, down 25. The big plays coming up as we get ready for our second set of rotations. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with OpTic Chicago.
Can you shoot, Brandon?
It could be a new already.
Oh, shoot Sam. 1 dead, I'm staying alive.
Yeah, Pierce the street.
Okay.
I'm in new set.
You guys are new? Okay, I'll go back to my window, hang on. Or I'm going to
Eski's pressing weak. He's
holding
two Eskies.
I have your push.
I can help you globe.
2 down, Eski's got 1.
Here's the globe somewhere.
And one's in 2 at a time, guys.
I don't see globe.
I don't see globe.
One's glass and globe.
I don't see globe.
Here's nice.
Glass? Yo, glass.
Nothing street.
Yo,
we could flip.
Watch your push through.
Eski's at me.
Brandon, watch your push through. I have help.
I have street.
Open door.
Eski's dead. Another one. Eski's hurt. He's half health. Laying down.
I don't see anything street.
It's absolute.
Nice jump. Putting through.
I have help, Matt.
Nothing left.
Laying in glass, Sam. Gunless weak, back left.
He's 1 shot. Another one hit right.
Eski's. Alright, hang on.
Back up.
Yo, we spawner.
I'm gonna flip. I'm flipping.
Good.
Yeah, we'll come
I'm holding your
back.
research.
Yeah, good shit.
Nice, good shit, Bruce.
There's
one in Eski.
I'm trying to hold your research.
What's under our window, I think, guys?
Yeah, they're still pushing. You're missing two.
Nick's hit old.
Deep street, Brandon. I'm behind him.
Two old. He's out of block track. I'm holding it. I spawned out still.
Mid pressing. One's in the back too.
I don't see Sam.
Sam's in the back.
In the back, Sam. Sam in the back, dead.
Yo,
push me out. He pushed me out in the back. He's back B search.
Let's go right.
Down. Yo, one. I think one is
middle window. Nice. One's Nick's right.
Yeah. Nick was back bus.
Probably B search.
Yeah, I flashed in window. Don't flash the thing.
One with Brandon.
I think street of the year.
I didn't flash the thing. Yo, close mid on me.
I'll help you mid. Side door.
Close mid, Preston, 1 shot. He's close. There's 2 side door. Yo,
side door.
Close ticket.
Yeah,
Watch out.
I'm gonna go back window.
Go fast.
I'm
hitting front.
Side door again. Side door. He went back time.
Another one time.
Side door to time.
Here, I'm going back side door.
Side door. Absolutely. Yo, push through quick.
Go back.
Guys, go. Street. Yo, if we're gonna blood this one out.
Minutes. Street. Yo, I'm gonna go deep bank, okay?
I think gold window. I flash gold window.
Could be pillar. Get a kill this one out.
I didn't flash the gold window.
Check all your corners.
Yeah, let's go around together, guys. Go deep bank.
Yeah, come help me.
I'm not gonna go bank. You go.
We heard the call. If they get a kill, they'll spawn them out, but that's not going to happen before the new point pops. And this is where Surge were perfect last time through, and the push for OpTic took quite some time. It didn't really develop until almost halfway through the hard point. We'll see if they can do a better job here, because another perfect hold from Surge, and they cracked this one wide open.
And again, right, already 15 seconds off, but at least you have Formal is able to find one. It's just this tight setup from Seattle Surge. that has worked out so efficiently for them. Here's some pressure towards the front, but Envoy gets taken down at elbow. Dashy trying to find a pick with Formal, and there's a spawn. Envoy all the way behind now. Can they find the rest of this time? They need it. They got to at least get him off of it.
Well, yeah, they finally got Octane out of it. Him and Gunless didn't die the first time through. This time, Formal wins the fight at range. They'll get the clearance onto the point. They'll look to get the final 25 seconds or so and keep themselves in this game. But if you look at the bottom of the map, that'll be Gunless and Octane once again getting set up in position early on a hard point. But you'll have 3 here. It's a top right spawn for the other 2 players of Surge. You've got numbers for a second. Can Gunless and Octane hold? So far, Gunless doing a great job. He's able to take down the first. Octane will finesse for another. The finesse continues to top bus. Scump spinning in circles to find him and finally able to drop him. But Gunless up this entire time in the point as they continue to hold.
I mean, you take that every single time if you're Surge, right? You get the first 30 seconds or so, they try to break and they do. And guess what? You get gifted the rotation. That's happened multiple times now, from P2 to P3. And now at this bus hill once again. OpTic trying to split this time. Envoy and Formal able to find 3 dead. There's just 1 player remaining in Prestinni. He's inside. Well, he is spotted, and while OpTic, they need these 25 seconds, plus they flip the spawns. A great opportunity here with Formal and Envoy's position. They have them spawning on the wide left. They can chain P1 and P2, take over this game.
This is where they can make the run. Formal and Envoy are set up. Their teammates are going to end up dropping towards street side. Well, Dashy at least is able to take down 1. Prestinni, he's ready to pounce and he wants to fly. He saw one right on his left, reacts a little bit slow, and then Envoy actually able to take him down. Classic, though, still here. As they're setting the pace, they're keeping the tempo, and that'll be 2 for Classic. Gunless and Octane then follow it up, and they'll get right into the point. And this is painful because you really had to chain both together, but the time continues behind the Classic play and the follow-up on the ARs.
I mean, Gunless hasn't even used his streaks yet, right? He's still got both of them in case they need it. You know, Scump, he's trying to do what he can, but yeah, it's the break. Too easy at P1. Classic finds the double. Classic, again, able to find another kill. They're just getting as many seconds as they can, putting the pressure on. But it looks like OpTic will survive for right now. You have Scump rotated on over. The rest of Seattle, besides Prestinni, going to try and push through street, but Dashy's there watching the cross.
This is likely going to come down to whether you get efficient use out of the streaks from Gunless, because you got to think they're going to be called in soon once they look to get set up, unless they're going to take one first push on it. But if OpTic can deal with that, they can deal with the streaks and hold on. That's how they'll make the rally. Just 4 points needed for Surge. Cruise in. 1 down, able to hit Envoy. They'll take him out of the picture, and lurking still there will be Classic. Is Gunless trying to get involved with the pistol once again? He will hit, so will Classic. But you still have him here. OpTic still holding on, enough to keep Surge out of the point, but Joe, at some point they're going to need some time as well.
Yeah, I mean, Dashy, though, he's going on a pinch, and that actually spawns Seattle Surge down low. So you have members here for Seattle. They only need 4 seconds, and Gunless still has the artillery, right? So at the end of the day, they can still use that to break P3. It's not like they had to break right at this hill. There's a lot of time left. Only a couple of seconds needed. Prestinni, he's got Gunless watching over him. And Seattle Surge, they do it again. They go up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, and that's just one of those spots that's so tough. Like, you have to focus on the point because they only need 4 points. You have to lock that down, but you also need to try and get over to third and try and maintain the spawns, and it's just too much of an ask for OpTic to get it done and Surge come in. And just like they did in their series prior, they win the map 1 as they are looking strong on Moscow. Things are flowing, and it's just, you felt good about it from the break. Like, just that opening from Classic and Prestinni, I'm like, all right, yeah, they're still frying.
I mean, that's really it, right? Did they run out of gas or not? I mean, that was a long match that they kind of had to wait for, but no, they're still shooting. They are on point, and that's really it. Everybody is contributing. When you look at the side of Seattle Surge, everyone's got over 20 kills. You had the streaks from Gunless if they needed him. He goes double positive. I mean, this is a new Seattle Surge team.
Yeah, I mean, Gunless, the 2 times we saw them with their early setup at third, like, I don't know if he died. Like, I'm not sure he died.
Not the
was
first
just
time.
finding.
I think maybe once the second.
The first time he definitely didn't. Second, yeah, I don't know. Just felt like he was always there to make sure OpTic couldn't get in. But it's Seattle Surge. Just strike first. Get on the board to go up 1-0 in this best of 5. OpTic Surge heads to a search and destroy after this break. We are back. Surge up 1-0. Now, a mode in which OpTic have looked to improve on and build on throughout the course of the year. They've had their bright spots in Search and Destroy after a shaky start. They could really use a Search win now, Joe.
100%, and I think even looking at this, right, you saw the map set. This is a discussion around sort of their map pool, even in hardpoint. You know, you take checkmate away, and this is kind of what happens. You're playing Moscow and Raid, and I think any team, a team like Seattle Surge, I think they take that all day. 2 maps in hardpoint that focus heavy on rotations, limited gunfights versus OpTic. You take it, but you can see it here. Major 5, the big key difference for Seattle Surge, that Search and Destroy to 1.07.
Yeah, I think, like, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, what did we say at the beginning of the year for OpTic? Yeah, your checkmates or, like, get good at Garrison. Like, the maps where their talent can really shine through, where you're having more gunfights. You know, if you have a mistake in rotation, it's not as punishing as maybe something like a Moscow. I think you nailed it. Like, if you're Surge, absolutely. You'll take these 2 hard points, play more disciplined, get into the early setups, and that's exactly what they did. But now to Raid, Search, and Destroy we go, and we'll see if OpTic can tie this up at 1-1 or the Cinderella story continues for Surge.
And I mean, Garrison just wasn't picked. You had OpTic who banned Apocalypse, and Seattle banned Checkmate. So they again they go with Moscow where they were 12-6, but in the Raid, Search, and Destroy, and for Seattle Surge, they've only played it 1 time throughout this stage 5. They lost it on the other side. OpTic, they haven't played it all in stage 5.
We'll see what kind of strategies we get in the opening, as Envoy's going to be lurking towards water steps. Bit of a 2-2 split on the get-go for Seattle Surge. And Envoy's just waiting to pounce. He'll have Formal looking over him deep. Mid-map, Scump looking to take that fight at Zig, but it's just a slow progression here from Surge, just trying to play for a little bit of info, and that's going to be the pounce. Envoy able to get through. The nade not going to hit. Now over to Scump in mid-map as he's trying to fight for his life. Hit down to 50 HP, but staying up. And then Formal, who was looking over Envoy, able to connect on the kill. They've got a 4v2 now in a good position for round 1 with Bomb down.
Yeah, I mean, Bomb's down. Gunless is left in a 1 versus 4. It's all mid-map control. Scump, he's going to find that final kill through mid-zig. A good round there for OpTic. That just starts with Envoy and Scump. And, you know, when you talk about Raid, Search, and Destroy, it's the submachine guns. It's the middle of the map inside of that courtyard, because the defensive teams, they can rotate so easily through the mid-stairs, through pillars. We've seen it from teams like Toronto. We've seen it from teams like Atlanta, FaZe, Envoy, Scump. They do that right there.
Working in tandem well to get the opening round. Now they'll switch over to offense, and you can see it's a heavy hit and stack for Surge towards mid-map. They'll have one lurking water step. Prestinni will be in that position. You saw Envoy just trying to spot through the crack for info, but he's got 2 players to deal with. Can he at least take down 1? Not going to happen. Shots in between both, and Scump will get the first blood. Classic welcome to the blender as well, as Scump is popping off here in the round 2. The help is in. Once again, Formal looking over his subs, and now Octane, 1v4. First bit of work is done, but the trade is through, and so far, so good for OpTic and Surge.
Well, it gets a little bit scary, Prestinni, if he lines that up. I mean, it's tough sometimes with the slide, right? Your aim assist just sort of carries with one of the players, and he can't lock onto a target, but he finds those kills. Envoy, he was playing inside a ring by himself. He was setting up a late pinch, and if his teammates go down, he kind of leaves them out to dry, but he's able to stay alive. Scump and Envoy up to 5-0 to start this game, but Formal as well. 2-1 to start, and that's big. Remember, he only had 3 kills in 2 search and destroys yesterday versus Ultra, so getting him going is important for OpTic.
Yeah, if they're going to make a run, I don't know if it's a confidence thing or what it is exactly, but he's going to need more of it. As it's another first blood for OpTic. This time it'll be Envoy. Maybe get a little bit overzealous, but he will stay alive. Then Dashy through on the flank. He nearly flicks onto the third. But it was a 1v3 for Gunless the first round, then a 1v4 try for Octane, now down to a 1v2 for Octane to try and clutch up, and it's again on an offense for them, a bomb down in a precarious position.
He's got some time to work with, though. Formal and Envoy really have no idea. He might have a free kill here. Formal just going to turn around and snaps. Never mind. Beautiful shots from Formal.
Yeah, depending on timing, you thought it might be a freebie, but it was Dashy that made the play through water steps, a little snap, a little slide, and I think a bullet or two in Octane to back him up as well. But you've got 3 kills on every OpTic member so far, 3 total kills for Surge. It's been dominant so far for OpTic. And this is what they need. Like, yeah, is this as tough a challenge as playing Ultra and Surge? Hell no. No, it's not even close. But still, can you just get some confidence in the mode as you try to continue on in this tournament?
Well, especially after that map 1, right? Just to come out and play with the confidence, trust in one another, and stick to their game plan. This is what you wanted to see after losing that first hard point. Pivotal for them to come out strong, and they have so far. You know, Seattle Surge, they played this earlier in the major, so, you know, they did their homework, and they kind of struggled with the same thing. A lot of first bloods going to their opponents, just taking the map away from them, and you're seeing that here. But OpTic back on attack over towards this A side. You have Octane inside of Laundry. Prestinni trying to watch that cross, but Envoy has slipped on through. Just when does he want to pounce? He's going to have a couple of targets he can choose from, but he's just going to back away. His bomb's planted, but it is planted for Laundry.
He's just trying to find the angle. Surge yet to get a first blood. Can they get one? Finally, they do. Gunless. It's the first blood. They try to work the 4v3. Under 30 seconds left to work on the clock. Prestinni takes down another. Prestinni is frying as he takes down 2. Scump last alive, and he will drop. Is the trade on point, and the 4v4 retake works out for Surge. A much needed round to get going in this game too.
Yeah, I felt like there was maybe just some miscommunication there because you had Dashy planting that bomb. It felt like maybe Envoy, you know, he was expecting for his teammates to get aggressive with him and maybe take those fights, but he's got to back away. Then the bomb's planted on the backside. And you kind of just had to stop if you were OpTic. And, well, I mean, they just had all the power positions, Seattle Surge. From top Laundry, able to find those picks, then the numbers too strong. A big defensive round for them.
I think Dashy's got Cameron so hard. I don't even think he got a bullet out. He got smoked. Prestinni dropped him so fast. And can they get back-to-back rounds? So far, I mean, just no success on offense. Been bomb on the ground early. They changed it up, a bit more aggressive. All 4 out through mid-map, now just trying to pick their poison. Prestinni is just soaring forward through the cut. Looking to clear everything out. Scump is here, and Prestinni keeps it rolling. Another big gunfight win for him, and Gunless follows it up.
And that's what I mean, expect the unexpected. 4 players through the middle of the map. They immediately just fly at Laundry, and this is what you wanted to see from Seattle. Just quick with their reactions. Allow Prestinni and Classic to find the opening gunfights, and they are doing just that as Prestinni opens it up with 2 in the round, and now it is just Dashy by himself, and Seattle Surge have surged their way back into this raid search and destroy.
Oh, just lays him out there at the end. It looked aggressive. Show me it again. Ah! Oh, yeah, I've never been pistol whipped. That looked very painful.
It looks very painful. And we saw what
Yes.
Crim on the main stage doing it earlier. I mean, whoo! Man's got some form.
Yeah, he's something. I don't know what word I'd use to describe him, but something. Classic, after that big map 5, you know, I tweeted kind of in the middle of it, like, you know, he, a week ago, had the lowest search and destroy KD in the league. It was awesome to see him step it up, but they're going to need him to do a bit here. You've gotten back-to-back rounds, but he's still on a goose egg. Thankfully for him, Prestinni's popped off with 4 in a row. I'm getting planted now for OpTic, and last round it was a 4v4 retake for Surge. Can they do it again?
Classic at least able to find 1, so now you're in a 3v3. At least he gets that. It's back onto the board, and, well, Gunless able to find Scump, and now it's a 3 versus 2, and Prestinni on 4 in a row. He is ready to fly. His ARs are in position. When is he going to go? He's going to slide out for the challenge. Octane's able to find 1, but it's down to Envoy in a 1 versus 2. 20 seconds left. Gunless, Octane getting aggressive. Here we go, just trying to play the clock. He has played his angles beautifully as he's able to reposition. Here comes the challenge out. And Gunless with the pistol, 5 in a row, and he just has enough time.
What a play. After Envoy won the first gunfight, I'm like, okay, they're in a good spot. But like right as that happened, Formal gets beamed top window, and then Envoy in a tough position. But yeah, Prestinni and Gunless are just going off, just taking fights. And well, we know the pistol, it's a Treyarch title. They hit hard.
Well, yeah, if you eat a little headshot, I mean, with that Diamati, that player is melted. But Gunless now on 5. big game again, a #1 for him as he's having himself a series. Going up against his old team from last year, him and Prestinni, right? I mean, these guys just trying to put on a show. But take down his brother, now their former team.
We'll see if they can do it, but Envoy wants none of it. There's the first blood in the round 7. Let's see what Surge opt to do. They've got the wide open bomb site, but every second that ticks by is Formal and Envoy starting to work the flank, but Prestinni trying to deal with it. Only 4 left in the clip. He wants to go to the pistol, but now Octane, the angle from Tiki, gets the help through. Teamwork on point, and Prestinni, good job staying up.
Just staying alive, just buying time. And then Gunless gets the timing on the flame, so now they have man advantage. They're getting very quick on their decisions. Gunless, he's gonna go for the ping. He gives them the call outs. They have all the information, and Prestinni, well, with that position, able to find one more. 1 versus 2 now for Scump. And he clutch on up, and it's gonna be tough with the bomb planted because Octane can just back up to bedroom with that AR. And he catch them as they're running on out, but they just go up middle stairs. They just go up towards those middle stairs, and they're gonna have an idea soon of where he is.
35 to go. Scump looking for the clutch. He's got to hunt. They're both water steps. And he fry both.
No.
Gets him behind. There's the first. They line up. And Scump makes the play to get to 8 and 4. And OpTic regained the lead.
What a play by Scump, able to clutch on through. He took his time, he was patient. And while it's a bit of a mistake for Seattle, I thought they were just gonna back up to bedroom. Why wouldn't you? But you get the ping out of Gunless, a huge round. Woo! As well, he stops the momentum, snaps onto the second player.
Yeah, and you're just hoping, like, the first guy he has to shoot is looking at it, maybe he gets a bullet or 2 in at least, but he gets the first one for free. And then the snap and tracking on point. Beautiful clutch. You see now leads the way at 8 and 4. Now, just the ping was used. And I think Scump was the one that got the kill on Gunless as well. So he stopped from getting the cruise missile. You'll still have the actual artillery to call in. Oh,
No
well,
way.
Of course.
No
of
way.
course. Scump loves to hold him. He gets stuck again for the 70th time this year, and it takes out a teammate. But a heck of a nade from the Surge side as they now got numbers. And Envoy and Formal, well, they find themselves in a predicament, just wondering what the hell happened.
Yeah, Scump's like, I hate Semtexes. We've all seen the clips. Poor Scump, but still a 2v3. Prestinni gets a little aggressive towards Art, and they're able to find that kill. So it's still doable. They're just going to rotate on out.
How long do you think Heavy Skills has a tweet of that play out for him?
I think it's probably already posted.
Probably. Now Formal for the 1v3. Just watched his duo clutch up. Can he maybe do the same, but a much more difficult position. He's at least able to recoup the bomb. Info on one. The other 2 still holding towards back B side. And he actually takes a bullet on the cross and will drop. So Surge, a rebound, and the Simtex decides the round in the opening seconds.
I mean, that's really it. Nothing much more to analyze than that. I mean, Octane, he just sees the cross, puts a nade right where it hurts, able to find 2 kills with it, just the cherry on top. But with the numbers advantage, able to tie this up 4-4 now. And, well, I think you just go back to that Scump round, how big it is, because it could be 5-3 with 5 rounds in a row for Surge. But Scump with his clutch, able to keep OpTic in this one as they get back on defense.
Good point. What's a bloodbath in mid? And they go 2 for 2. Gunless. The big play from Surge. So you got the 2 powerhouse megastar ARs on Surge. The same can be said on OpTic. It's an AR fight. As these 4 go toe-to-toe in the 2-on-2 with a ton of time on the clock. And for now, Surge have backed it up. Just maybe focusing on a flank or a little bit of over-aggression out of OpTic. Now they got to make a decision.
I mean, both OpTic members just really playing around information right now. You have Formal kind of watching mid-map and flank. You have Dashy, who's waiting to see do they go towards B, but it's going to be an A hit. Now Octane just has to clear out all of Laundry, but they're going to have an idea. The bomb is wide open, plants going down, and you have the artillery. This is where that streak becoming so clutch for Gunless and Seattle Surge.
Yeah, this winds down. Time starts to dwindle. Yeah, Formal can shoot it out of the sky. He's done that a few times throughout the course of his career.
Well,
or
helps.
just get the pick with the gunny. No streak going to be coming in from Gunless. Now on Octane to clutch. Can he pull off the 1v2? There's the wall bang on the first. His Formal takes a bullet to the brain. Octane, Dashy, 15 to go. Dashy with the hunt, Dashy with the snap, Dashy with the round win to put him up 5-4.
It's been clutch rounds for OpTic that have kept them in this game, and while Dashy adds another one right there in the 1v1, you can see Octane. He's got to check out wide. He's not sure if he's pushing him outside ring. Or maybe he was just going to play his life, check the bomb, but, well, the one peek, it's all it takes. And Dashy, we know how quick he is, able to snap right onto him.
Match point for OpTic in the search and destroy. They got one mid, 3 filtering over towards B. As Dashy sub in hand, they start to move their way up the map behind the trophy. He's got Scump to work with. Still waiting deep for a push through will be Envoy as they look to get the plant down quick, but the streak is going to get called in. That's going to hop him off the plant, so he's going to get off it. He's about halfway done. They'll delay this a bit behind the streak, but it's not going to catch anybody. Well, I take it back. Dashy will drop to the final missile. Octane hits the beams again, but Envoy with that gunfight win, Joe, gives them a shot.
Yeah, he gives them a shot, but bomb is down. A very delayed third missile there, but it does connect with one. Still 2v3. I mean, it's just tough now. You have to take some AR gunfights with those subs. As Envoy maybe just trying to find a pick water side, but you see there, ready for Scump inside a kitchen. Classic Gunless locking this down.
Gonna get one and get out. Not gonna happen. Envoy will drop. Scump falls up with a trade onto one. Now to another 1v2, but he can't win it. Gunless, huge again. To round 11 we go. And Gunless is he on 12 or 13? Like, he's having a map.
He's having a series. I mean, double positive in game one, and this is what you needed. You knew that at times he could take over. He'd be one of the best players in the world, and we are starting to see it here. But round 11 on Raid Search and Destroy.
13-5 out of Gunless. As Surge survived the clutch plays from OpTic. It'll be offense again for OpTic. No streak available this time around for Surge. And it's up the gut as Envoy has sent it looking for a fight, but the guy on the other side of it has been the hot hand in this series. It's Gunless holding kitchen. Classic to work with him money once again. As they work towards Waterside, it's Prestinni playing around Tiki. Prestinni's gone. There's the first blood.
Still, though, they're just taking their time. Just trying to force Seattle to react, and that's exactly what's happening. They think this is going to be a B hit, but they're going to rotate out of this. You see Scump with the bomb. Envoy is there. Maybe they hear some audio, but they're going to be across the bomb already. Nobody in position. Gunless going to be the first man up. What can Gunless do? Is he going to see anything? He is not knocked in. He is down now at 2 versus 4.
Gunless has made plays all map long. Can he clutch up again? Him and Classic have to make the play. 25 seconds left to go, and Scump gets another one into double digits. Gunless, he's been a one-man wrecking crew, but now literally the last one up. The trade is through, and OpTic clutch up in the round 11 to tie us up at 1-1.
Ooh, it's a close one. It is a close one, but you felt like they needed that, and now just can they run away with this series? You know, stop that momentum. Gunless on 14 kills. You had double digits on Octane as well, but a couple of key rounds from OpTic members get us to that round 11, and they just took their time. They took map control away, but it felt like they had a plan. Great communication there on OpTic in that round.
And how often have we seen that, like, kind of lone player over towards Tiki side, water side, get isolated and caught? And when you do, it just turns the round on its head. Prestinni's just got to stay up there. Play for information, play sneaky, but when he dropped, things changed and the wrap out from OpTic pays off. They get the win, and, well, they probably don't get there. They definitely don't get there. If it's not for the Scump 1v2 that really keeps them in a clutch round.
Yeah, 100%. Now just taking a look at the scoreboard, and well, I mean, you can see the difference on two sides. Raid Search and Destroy is typically kind of ran by the subs. You get 11 out of Scump, you get 8 out of Envoy, but on the opposite side, it's 24, but it's from the ARs. So you gotta give props to Gunless and Octane, because that's not usually what we see. Usually it's all about middle of the map. The subs rotating from bomb site to bomb site, but those two are going big for Surge, but it's just too many clutch rounds on the OpTic boys.
Yeah, and Classic had that superhuman series, but I feel like can be a liability in Search sometimes. He goes 1-9 within that one. Can't really get things going, unfortunately, but yeah, Gunless almost able to power them through, but as it stands, it is 1-1. We're now going to check out our U.S. Army tactical play, and of course, it's going to be the 1v2 from Scump. A huge moment within this game, too, and it changed the tides.
I mean, you also got to think, right, the Gunless ping comes in this round. So everything kind of slows down there, but there he gets that pick. In this 1v2, I mean, what? Gunless just gets taken down. You would think that they have a really good idea of where he's going to be coming from, either middle of the map or towards kitchen side. I thought they were just going to back up to bedroom. But I think maybe they're worried about while that rotation happens, or if it happens, if they would get caught. But you got to think, if they just go, if they put Octane top bedroom with an AR, this round is done. But they don't risk it. But the timing comes through for Scump. It's beautiful shots, the snap onto the second one, and it keeps OpTic in this game.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think they was worried he was looking mid and they get caught. One would get dropped, trying to get to bedroom. They don't go there. And the king, Scump, clutches up with a huge play. We're all tied up 1-1. Control up next after this break.
Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armour your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming. Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Welcome back. A thrilling series tied up 1-1 as the fans are pumped up. We're going to talk a little bit about OpTic and how their year has gone. And Joe, we've touched on at the beginning of the series, like it's been one of the worst years in the history of the organization with regards of, even when they've had tough years, they've won like one tournament or they've gotten to some finals. This year, the placements haven't been great. Is this their chance? Is this their best opportunity to really push past that top 4 wall they've been on?
Well, I mean, we'll see, right? Because I mean, a couple of those are game 5s, round 11s, major 2s in 3, major 4. They lost to Dallas twice. If they win here, they have to play Dallas again. And it feels like if you look at stage 5 for them, they've been kind of knocking down the door of some of their demons, right? Able to take down FaZe. I just felt like they were able to clutch up. They're playing with a little bit more confidence in their search and destroy. But yeah, I mean, they have to put it all together. Haven't been able to do so quite yet. I think a lot of people are hoping they do.
It's just interesting when you think about like the difference in teams in front of them if they were able to make this run. Like from your Empire to your Røkkr to your Ultra and the gameplay styles, and they're going to have a lot to do if they can win this series, but they still have to win this one, and Surge are not going down without a fight, which is what we've seen every time these guys play. But to checkmate control we go. Joe, talk to me a little bit about this map and mode for these squads.
Well, I mean, both pretty solid on this map. I mean, for OpTic, you're 9-8, but you're 0-1 within stage 5. On the opposite side for Surge, you're 4-3, but you're 1-0 within this stage. You know, a lot of control has been centered around Raid and Garrison. Earlier on, there was a little bit more control on checkmate, but it's really been between the other two. So when this comes up, it's always a bit of a surprise just seeing how those vetoes play out. But it's on checkmate, and here we go.
As NYSL Mutineers showed us, anything can happen on this map. As it was 5 offensive wins for the first time on the year. I do not think we will be seeing that, but the opening break's so big for both sides, but especially the offense. You get pinned here, you can be trapped for a long amount of time just trying to get that foothold mid. Let's see if Surge can get a nice opening. But it's Dashy and Envoy that line things up early.
Yeah, Classic's just trying to get that playing control. They're trying to get out towards A. Just keep this position, stay out of that trap, and each kill will help them do so. Gunless, the hot hand in the series so far. Eyes on him. And while if Dashy and Formal can try to slow him down. Jump coming off a big search and destroy as well in game number 2, but there is that playing control by the Surge submachine gun players, and they're starting to get some work done at both A and B.
Yeah, they had, what, a 3 down, which put them in a good spot, but some big kills from OpTic to at least get back out towards mid. And that's Dashy that's still in a position to make a play. But it's Octane that's hitting the shots. Dashy does get 2, so from bottom plane going off. And off the point for now are Surge. Formal then involved in the action as well. You just got 1 bit of progress so far. I mean, every bit counts if you're trying to get a round 5 defense, but you'd like to get more here if you can if you're Surge.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've talked about kind of, do you want to kind of put pressure on towards B so A frees up, and I think they try to do that in the 3 down. But a couple of kills come through for OpTic, and well, that isolates the players on A. So now they have to redo step 1, try to get out of this trap and get some map position. But Formal up to 6-2 in this game. Dashy with another one. Only, what, 18 seconds left. As Envoy just playing his life, throwing a couple of shoulders. Nice movement to get out and play his life. But he needs his teammates. He's got to regen his health.
Yeah, it just feels like Envoy and Scump have been the front line, and they're getting dropped, but the ARs are picking it up, and there's a team kill behind a trophy, but Octane and Gunless, despite that, they're able to get the key kills, and now they might have a point done. OpTic will take the focus over towards B. A will get finished, a minute of added time, 13-13 in the lives count. The 5-2 start from Octane.
And this was the map, the control they played at Major 4. Seattle were able to win that. It was really be behind Classic and Prestinni. Both put around like a 1.2 KD in that game number 3. But that series went all the way to a game 5 as well. We could have another one here, but they do have a recent matchup. We'll see if OpTic learn from those mistakes. And they're fighting their way back into this one as they still have a 1 life advantage. That gets taken away, but 40 seconds left. Surge have to start working the objective.
Will it be the time? Will it be the objective? Will it be the lives? I don't know. But hopefully we've got a wild finish here in the round 1 as Classic will send Envoy back to spawn. Classic gets another. The SMG duo of OpTic taking off the front line. You've got 3 towards mid-map for Surge now looking to make the play. It's been Formal and Dashy really carrying the slaying load for OpTic. And they might need to go clutch, but as Dashy drops, Formal there right behind him. The 2 heavy hitters in round 1 taken out of it. And onto the objective goes Surge. They'll stop the clock with 17 to go.
Let's say they would be very patient with this clock, but you're right. They're playing around the lives right now, right? It's a 4 versus 5. This is like an S&D round. They got to retake. Second tick almost done. Dashy looking for the pick. There's the slide out. Scump, he's going to be the first to chow. Envoy follows that up. 2 players remaining. Scump again finds the second kill. They do get the second tick, but it's down to a 2 versus 4. It's Octane and Prestinni trying to clutch on up in this round.
Tell you what, Scump and Envoy were having a rough round, but they make the plays and clutch up when needed. That'll get them the round victory. Is they had like, what, 8 kills between them at one point, but get 4 in a sequence there to retake. And I guess, you know, you feel all right if you're both sides. You know, came down to the wire, you're able to clutch up if you're OpTic, but you get a lot of points of progress in the overall story being told map 3 if you're Surge.
Yeah, you get 5 ticks, so you will take that. A good round for them. They make it close. As you said, I think they'll take that all day, but they have to respond with a defense of their own. OpTic on the attack now. And yeah, you can see Envoy 2 in a row. He goes big towards the end of the round with Scump.
Yeah, I think they combined to get all 4 during that stretch. It was beautiful and it was needed because they were in the 4 versus 5. They get rid of Gunless in the back. They can't do it. He's the one-man wrecking crew. Is the gunny for one, the nade for another, as he looks to just hold from the back barrel. How good has he been in this matchup? And we've been waiting for it at times this year. I thought he was going to snap on a formal as well, but thankfully for OpTic, the trade is on point. Can Scump get them the opening through plane side?
They're just playing around that plane control right now, and then from there, just trying to fly on out towards A. Plastic just trying to do what he can, but you can see what Scump has in mind. Protect his teammates and get this angle onto the point. But nice beams from the AR of Octane, but that's going to be 2 dead. Prestinni now in that same corner. That Classic just was a couple of seconds ago, but the lives go the way of OpTic. They're going to get on that objective and pause that clock.
Let's see if they can complete it. We've still got people here from Surge. They're going to look to break back in and stop this with 41 to go. Classic and Octane will take out a couple, but still on the point will be Scump. Looking over him is Dashy. First bit just about done. Nice beams there from Dashy, and that should be the A zone. So they're able to finish that. Beautiful job. Up 4 in lives, make it 5. Now the transition across. Can it be clean? The one guy inside a plane is Octane. He's trying to find an opening behind enemy lines. He's going to do just that. The 1-2 punch from Octane and Classic stops the clean transition there from OpTic. They're going to have to break again.
Yeah, but Envoy, I mean, he finds that first kill, so that gives some breathing room for OpTic. Now inside a plane. Again, just trying to get this controlled. The nades just back and forth. And well, Octane takes down 2, but that's going to be 2 dead for Seattle Surge. Is Octane once again the only player inside a plane? Envoy taking his time. I mean, you only have 10 lives remaining for Seattle Surge with a minute left. So OpTic, they're going to play a little bit of TDM right now. Just try to put the pressure on the spawn of Seattle.
I was talking about the slow start from Envoy and Scump, but yeah, Prestinni I think is around double negative. He's got a ton of deaths. Probably a bit of the reason for the separation here between the 2 squads in the round 2. You still have time to work with. 45 seconds to go. As OpTic try to bleed him out, maintain that lives advantage, and we'll see if it comes down to the wire yet again. Classic and Octane, though, again, the 1-2 punch. Classic, he gets a double of his own, and now look at where they're spawning. So deep, and Classic ripping and roaring up to 16 and 13. Where's he going to be? You never know where Nicky D's going to hit from because it's everywhere all at once.
And Octane has been the last lone player at B, I think 3 different times, and each time he wins his solo one-on-one. Now he's up to 5 in a row. Remember, you had 5 ticks done if you were Seattle. Scump, though, is able to get them onto the point behind a multi-kill. They're going to be onto this point. 7 versus 5 in the lives, but only 8 seconds. A trophy kill in for Octane. Why not? Everything's going his way. But the nades connect, a life advantage their way. It's now a 6 versus 3. Octane trying to work up towards that A street. He's got to wait for Gunless and Classic to come off a spawn. But it's a stack from OpTic. They're excited about this one. Trying to wrap this round up, and they will.
It feels like they were pretty similar situations in a lot of ways. It's just when it came down to that life advantage of the battle of attrition, you just had a bit more time to work with if you're OpTic. Like where it came down to the wire for Surge, they really had to focus on the objective a bit earlier. They could play their lives, play their kills a bit more, a bit longer.
Well, I think it's huge, right? OpTic gets out of that trap because you did have Classic all the way inside a tube. You had the trap on if you are Surge, and that's the moment where you just had to just contain them. But who was it? It was Scump with a multi-kill that gets them out onto the objective. Again, coming up clutch is Scump. But a moment there for Seattle. Now you're down 0-2 in control. You have to win an offense.
Struggles for Prestinni will continue. 7 and 18 and a team kill in that sequence as well as everyone's lining up for the plane battle. We saw Gunless do such a good job from this position. Now Dashy taking his turn locking down A, and you're in a tough spot. You need a round win if you're Surge. You are all back to spawn. Envoy and Scump are pushed up the map, and you got to get through them first. You get 2, but you still have the numbers here if you're OpTic. It's Prestinni, he can't get anything rolling. The timing seems off. The deaths are mounting up. And they're getting them locked in. Maybe Gunless is 2 will get him out. Get him some breathing room.
You would think that, but very disciplined for OpTic, right? Dashy finds kill, backs on up. You love seeing that. Doesn't reach out, doesn't overchow. They have the numbers, they have map control. Play that clock. 20 seconds left. Seattle, all of the pressure is on them. Scump with some beams across the map, finds the second slide, almost connects with the third. Formal now in a 1 versus 1 versus Prestinni, and he beams him off the heady.
He gets a third too. TTP rolling through Surge right now. The streak continues right back to Scump. The kill feed has just been Formal and Scump. Finally Envoy in the mix, but it's 5 in a row, and it's a map win for OpTic Chicago as they dominate into control and take the series edge.
This is that one-on-one we just saw. He's able to get that trade. Snaps on a Prestinni off spawn. Gunless, yeah, I will see you later. And what a map out of Formal. 23 and 13. He really slowed down Gunless in a lot of those big moments. It was Formal, it was Scump. A huge map out of the duo.
Yeah, I think the way Formal and Dashy were beaming earlier, part of the reason maybe Prestinni was struggling to get anything going. But I swear every time we hopped to his POV or an OpTic POV, he was just getting beamed or shot in the back, just couldn't find any flow or rhythm to the game. And OpTic are now 8-1 in their last 9 control games. And well, Joe, you think the thing that has probably defined our champions the most over the course of this year has been consistent control play. It's been the separation. You probably love to see that stat if you're an OpTic fan.
100%, 8-1, but here's a look at your stats, and yeah, I mean, you see 5 and 6. Gunless and Prestinni really struggle, both around 2,000 damage. On the other side, it's Formal, it's Scump. We were saying their names a lot. They lead the way, but it's really that offensive round when they were able to clutch on up, right? Going up 2-0, especially winning that second round offense, just put so much pressure on Seattle Surge to win round 3, and it was just too good from OpTic.
They get the offensive round win. It leads to a 3-0 in the map 3. OpTic now up 2-1. Can they close it out in the hard point? That'll be up after this quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We get prepped and ready for the map 4 as it is match and series point for OpTic to continue on at Major 5. Before we get into it, we're going to talk a little bit about Formal in Stage 5. Joe, he's been a little up and down this year. You know, one of the more consistent players all time when you look at the long stretch of that Dynasty team. But in Stage 5, he's been good. Like at the hard point, he's been great in the control. Probably why they have that 8-1 Røkkr, a big part of it. Really just the search, the only lackluster thing.
Yeah, and I mean, he's had that before. Really, that search and destroy, but it's been better than what it has been at times. So, you know, he knows he's got to work on that. Again, another part of that is he was 3 and 15 against Ultra yesterday, so that brings him down quite a bit. They had a much better map number 2. But yeah, I mean, Formal, we know the guy he can be. You know, Dashy is on this team. Him and Dashy have been working together a lot better recently. At least one of them staying disciplined, right? Because they're not there's not more of a natural slow AR on this squad, right? You kind of compare it to like a Dallas with iLLeY and Crim. So those two have been working a lot better together. But now we're going to take a look at classic stats from Atlanta FaZe in their win earlier today. Again, just an awesome series out of Nicky D.
Yeah, he was an absolute beast, but outside of the map 1 where he had some great moments, you know, he's 1-9, he gets fried in the map 2, struggles to get rolling there in the map 3. Does that play to the inconsistencies of Classic at time, or is it more to do with the impact that maybe the ARs are having right now on OpTic?
I think that was just kind of the team play early from Seattle, right? Again, I think if you looked at that raid search destroy, it wasn't the typical raid we usually see. Again, a lot of the pace is defined by the subs, and we didn't see a lot of aggression, especially on defense from Seattle, like we normally see. So, you know, if you watch that standoff game 5, Prestinni and Classic were all over the map, just didn't have the same results there.
Well, the crowd starts to get fired up for this map 4. They can smell blood in the water as OpTic look to close it out. And Surge, this run, fans have gotten behind him. The underdog story. It has been a rough 2 years since the inception of the Call of Duty League, but what a win it can be here. You go through FaZe, you go through OpTic, but they got to get this to a map 5. Radar point now underway, and Formal picks up where he left off. Open it up with a Simtex.
Now, Envoy as well with another crate just to give them a better break off here. And looking at raid search and destroy, this is Seattle's, it's their hardpoint map, their best hardpoint map at 8-3, 3-1 in this stage as well. But OpTic, so they're going to start on that good side, but Octane, he's worked through towards back laundry. He's going to block spawns for now. As you're going to see, Formal Dashy spawn up in kitchen, and he is ready for it. At least finds one. Seattle, though, with control of the hill.
The human turret popping off early. We know what he's capable of, but I just want to see if we're going to get a rebound map out of Prestinni. After the struggles into control, can he bounce back and assert the dominance and aggression that we saw in the opening hardpoint? He started out strong. He was 3-1 before, of course, we cast or curse him. He gets shot in the back by Envoy. Envoy's POV will go straight away as the subs combine to take down another one inside of kitchen. He looks to push it out, but Gunless has been winning his ones today, Joe.
Yeah, he has. But a nice day from Scump, up to 6-2. And well behind Envoy, they get right in the kitchen with some aggression. Dashy working the pinch, able to find 2. There's the spawns. Go the way of OpTic. A beautiful break there at kitchen.
Big Bruce is rolling. Now the call in. The Gunless is here, and he's like, all right, I'm hopping out and shelling. As he wins another one, it puts Gunless down. That's 5 in a row now for Dashy. Building towards some streaks, but Gunless wants no part of it. Gunless right back off spawn. Bang! That's a triple.
You see what OpTic wanted to do. They wanted to find that kill and then spawn Seattle behind them. That happens. One player does spawn behind them. But Gunless was able to find 3. But off spawn, they find 2 kills. Classic and Octane all the way out at kitchen. You have a 2 versus 2 on this side of the map. But into the first one, it was going to be Dashy, but he gets taken down by Prestinni. But the close spawns go the way of OpTic. You see that pops right on up to do the position of Formal. Here comes Dashy. Here comes Scump. They're able to find the kill. And OpTic rotate over to Garage.
Envoy just gets right in off the close spawn. A melee to Gunless, and the teammates follow it up. The close spawn pays off, and Envoy gets his 3rd. They're rolling now. His multi-kills start to mount up for OpTic. But it feels like every time that happens, it's Gunless or Octane with a near immediate answer. But all the objective points for now go to OpTic as the lead gets up to 40. And the race is on towards court. The one guy that's going to be there is that number 4 on the map. That's going to be Scump, going all the way around deep. He's going to have some players to deal with. Just trying to push this out. Not the most fun 1v1, and maybe a panic melee, and that's going to cost him. Prestinni will take him down.
I'm going to follow him up, just trying to play his life similar to Scump, just trying to waste time. But on the rotation, Surge, they are going to rebound. But some early pressure from Envoy. Classic off a spawn, able to win that one. Needed it big time. Envoy would have been blocking those spawns. Still another quick push, and well, Dashy's just not missing now. He's up to 10 and 6 in this map, but Surge need the rest of this time to get them back into the map.
Surge need the time. They're in trouble if OpTic get a break. Let's go right to an Astro listening with Seattle Surge.
Got one.
Yeah, I'll go first. Go first.
Upstairs. Bad, dead. No one's upstairs.
Get in there. That's last guy. I'm getting in there.
Not weak, not weak.
That's one.
Dead. I'm on the floor.
I crossed radar already. I crossed radar. Spawn back.
Okay.
One's in kitchen on me. Radar. Okay, yeah, they spawn laundry. One held outer Nick, outer pre-emit.
I got you.
I don't see him outer. Outer heading, not peeking.
One's in the back.
Outer, Matt, dead.
Nice, one's in kitchen. One's in kitchen.
Oh, 8 seconds here. Somebody dies. Try to fucking
I'm going out here.
hold your spawn.
Yeah, I'm helping you.
In kitchen most likely.
One was in kitchen. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm coming back with you. I think he's white van. Yeah, white van. Envoy, absolute white van.
Catch. Got one, guys.
Can't see this guy. White van dead.
Nice, 2-2. Challenge. Yo, water steps. I'm on 4. Seth, weak water steps.
Zig, dead.
Nice,
let's do water.
He didn't come out.
He might flank my.
He's still there.
I spawned out. Yeah, here. I'm trying to get your kitchen. Yo, he's money. One shot. Shoot. That's not dead. That's not.
Matt
dead, Zig.
That's probably still open, bro.
I spawned one. I got your pillars. Go, come back.
Oh shit.
I got you, Zig. Open. Nice, aBeZy, Zig.
Not really weak in kitchen.
Last guy.
Nothing, Zig, boys.
Our boys, we're tied.
Push up pillars.
I've open.
I'm holding my own kitchen.
I have both.
Brandon,
dead. You have open?
I see the being here too. I see the being kitchen too.
Money. Dylan, dead. One shot, dead. No, one's white van. Yeah,
Seth is one. Literally trying to go.
Pillars dead.
Open one. He's open one. He's just super late.
I can help both. I'm getting new.
Yeah, get on to
Yo, he's open. Show me. Open. Alright.
Open kitchen. All 4 on ult. We have free rotation. All 4 of them are on ult.
Just get one kill.
Hold pillars. Yeah, we're coming fast laundry. Or our side. It could be Zig though.
I'll pick up Zig.
You're gonna re-wrap the whole spawn though.
Yeah, pillars. He's outside.
Give up pillars. I'm fucking wandering.
Nothing Zig.
Top, right side.
Pillars, one shot, guys. He's laying down.
Double top.
He's laying down middle pillars.
I hit him top again.
Nice.
This guy's still top.
Yo, good pitch.
Yeah,
Art's open.
Drop down.
Dylan.
Nice. I'm going mid.
Our side.
He's outside. He's in.
Laundry steps, Matt. Laundry steps. Double laundry steps.
Nice. Yeah, I'm getting armor.
Seth, pillars or something? One shot, bro.
Hey, pillars right now, Seth.
All right, as we hopped into the listen, and it was Prestinni. They got 4 at court to start this run from Surge. Now up 21, and what a rally it has been. And I don't know, maybe my favorite thing in the listen at one point with Gunless was just like, we're tied, boys, we're good. I don't know why I loved it.
No, I know, right? Just say, hey, a lot of things have been going wrong. That they do right there, though. I mean, huge multi-kills from Scump and Dashy to open up this hill, and now this rotation, a chance maybe to run away with the game. But Prestinni and Classic find some kills. You're going to have some pressure towards the middle of the map. So Scump, he's not going to have his back covered. He's going to get taken down. And very early on, you're going to have presence here from Seattle Surge inside a kitchen. But it looks like it's going to be a laundry push. And right off a spawn, Scump's going to get taken down.
Prestinni need to step up after the map 3, and he's done that at 17 and 17. Classic likely going to have to rally, but Orbal's going huge, winning gunfight after gunfight in the back line as we look for a lead change. It is in. OpTic go back out in front. And Formal continues to try and slow this build up towards ringside. Another gunfight win, now 3 in a row as he battles to get back to even. But the next push going to come in from front kitchen. Envoy lying in wait. They stack them up, and they all drop. The hold still strong from OpTic.
And look at the aggression, right? They're trying to get out towards the middle of the map. You still have a safe spawn for 3. So across the map, it's going to be a 3 versus 3, you thought. But Classic, he gets taken down. Envoy, Scump, the submachine guns and a fly on through. Tough gunfights coming up, though, because it's Gunless and Octane set up back garage. But through Jim, here comes the fight on rotation. Able to take one down. The nade, though, and the shots from Gunless going to win this rotation. A big play once again out of Big P.
Yeah, and they die right as the new one pops, and Surge are in position. So all 3 end up spawning out by Tiki. And now it's Prestinni just holding from waterside. And we've seen this. He wants to pick up the spawn and hold him. Because if they really want to get the other hit and get away from him, well, they got to win the fight, or they got to funnel it all through mid-map. And who's waiting mid? It's Octane at +5. And you've got 30 seconds off the clock. And due to the timing of the deaths for OpTic, they haven't gotten near the point yet. This is their push.
And look at Classic, he spawns all the way out. He spawns out, so he's going to take this rotation all day. OpTic have to be careful with this. I mean, you break this too late, you are going to gift them the basketball rotation. That's exactly what happens. They got to fly now. They are able to find a couple of kills. That means Prestinni and Octane are going to spawn out, but they have to hunt down the last 2. Gunless, Classic set up towards the back rock, trying to find kills once again on rotation. A 20-point lead, but a big moment here in our game number 4. And was that an overstep for OpTic? Should have they just held the middle of the map? I'm not quite sure. But they now have to break basketball, a tough one to do.
It's like the opening sequence took so long. That was really their first push. So yeah, in essence, they would have had to be like, all right, we're not taking a crack at garage. We're just going to set up. That wasn't the choice. And now it's Surge putting in the dagger time. Looking for a lead, but Scump with the gunny wins a tough fight. Octane, though, still in the back. He's got Gunless to work with. They'll spawn deep. Across water is OpTic trying to soar in. His classic coming alive. He's double negative, but he's got 4 in a row in a big moment. And he wins another one. Make it 5. He had to step it up, and he's stepping up when it matters. Lead to Surge as court wraps up.
And again, just such a late push. I mean, a good job by Envoy and Scump to at least, contest 10, 15 seconds. So you're up to 225. But look at the positions of Prestinni and Octane. They've won this rotation. They have numbers. They're the first players in the hill. Here we go. Prestinni able to pick up the flank. All the kills going the way of Surge. He's got a Krieg on the ground. Classic has one. That's 6 in a row. Can he find a streak? Is he going to get us to a map 5?
I'm sure he's going to need this streak. They might just do it with the gunny. 5 points needed for Surge. Artillery ping is in. The comms are in. It's 5 for Prestinni and Surge. They get us to a map 5.
And you just, the way they manage rotations, OpTic towards the end, it's something they have to go back. It is difficult to give up 50 seconds on a hill. I get it. But the worst thing that could have happened happened. Where you lose the first 30 seconds and the decision is, hey, let's go for Drazah. They don't break that until, 20, 15 seconds left. And by doing that, they give the full rotation of basketball. You allow Classic then to go on the streak. And then they do it again in basketball. They don't set up at P5. Gifted the end of that game to Seattle.
Yeah, it becomes a more difficult choice, obviously, when, that time is going to put a team like 10 points away from victory or something like when they're at court. But, yeah, it feels like Garage, it's a hard choice, but you got to do it because you see what happens. But for me, it really started. The big swing in momentum is when we went to listen in. Prestinni got all 4. They held on in a spot where I thought OpTic was going to break at court. And from there, they don't look back. And, shout out to Classic. I know he's -9, but he was, approaching triple negative. And then turned up in the final 2 hard points. Unbelievable composure there. Prestinni, the bounce back game after getting smoked in map 3. It's a beautiful thing for Surge. The Cinderella story continues. It comes down to a map 5. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. We are back. It all comes down to 1/5 and final map. And Joe, I can't help but find a little irony in the fact that OpTic are in this spot because they lost 2 searches in the series versus Ultra. Now to move on, they've got to win both. And for Surge, I mean, there was a stretch in the last stage where they couldn't win a search for the lives of them. I mean, well, for Hardpoint too, to be fair. They've gotten better, of course, but I've got no idea how this is going to go.
Well, I mean, OpTic did have to do this against Surge at Major 4. One of those in Game 5s, this one in 3 and 7. It is against Seattle at Major 4. They had to win both of them. They did that in a Game 5. It was a Moscow. We're not going to Moscow. We're going to Standoff. And, well, we saw Seattle Surge earlier today in a Game 5 versus FaZe on this map. And who was it? It was the subs. It was sort of that aggressive play from Classic and Prestinni, taking over the middle of the map, doing some crazy things, but playing with confidence. But just looking back at Major 4 in Game 5, who was it that stepped up for OpTic? It was Envoy with 12 and 7 in that game. You need something special out of him here, I think, again.
So what do you value more? Surge played Standoff a couple hours ago. They got the win in a map 5. If you're OpTic, you know, you maybe get a chance to watch that, see some of the strategies, see how you want to play against them. What's got more worth to you?
Well, I think honestly what has the most worth to me is OpTic's Game 5 win versus FaZe earlier on this map. And what did you and I really like is that Envoy was challenging aBeZy, right? Those early one-on-ones, they were playing with aggression, they were playing with confidence, and I want to see that early from OpTic. Those middle-of-the-map skirmishes, do not give that up for free to Classic and Prestinni. Challenge them, and well, just leave it down to the teamwork. We saw that on Raid.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you talk about playstyles, I know there's some differences, but in Search sometimes, I mean, Classic or Prestinni can sort of just be like a less efficient aBeZy. Like, you know they're going to be aggressive, you know they're going to fight you. aBeZy just happens to win that one-on-one more often than not, maybe better than anyone we've ever seen. You feel like Envoy would have a better shot in this, but they can maybe be a little more predictable than aBeZy. A little bit more unpredictable, that is. And that was one of your keys to victory, right? Like, deal with the unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be ready for it. Your communication has to be on point. You have to be able to react around the map. When they're doing something, you have to have an answer, and that's what we look for. A very good map, though, for OpTic throughout the year. Standoff is one of their better ones, 4 and 2. They're 2-0 in Stage 5. On the Surge side, you're 1 and 3, but that one map win, that was today.
Throw it all out the window. It's time to go. OpTic, Surge, one map.
There it is, right away. Right away. There's that challenge back alley from the subs. Look at the aggression out of Classic and Prestinni.
Well, they'll be on one side of it. And shout out to our observers as we can see the whole picture. It's Envoy on skates, just waiting for this push to come. And as more utility comes in, Envoy knows there's still somebody holding. But now, to start to transition off of this, as Classic continues to hold, a lot of it becomes a timing game. When is the pounce going to come? As Envoy looks like he's prepping to maybe track back.
Well, there's the info. This is looking like an A hit. You have Gunless get the info while all the grenades are tossed at him. Envoy's giving up back alley. He's giving out that call out as he works up towards mid-courtyard. Well, on it. Oh, he was trying to get that shot. And, well, instead of getting the first blood, he gets first blooded.
He probably needed a bullet to finish that off. Instead, he goes down, 25 to go. And now Classic is pushed through back alley and looks to develop the pinch, but the bomb gets planted for OpTic. It was Octane with the first blood. And he is looking for more. As they are just tagged up and stacked up. Yeah, trapped. Trying to hold on. It'll come down to Formal and Scump. Time's dwindling. Formal will drop. Scump, can he be the hero again? Not going to happen. Prestinni flies through for both. And the defuse is Surge. They get a big first blood onto Envoy. They get the retake. And, well, Envoy didn't exactly get the impact he wanted in this round.
No, I mean, that's what they're hoping for, is that the shots and nades connect so that when that player rotates out towards that barrel, Envoy only needs a bullet or two and finds the first blood. Instead, in our early round one, there's no trophies. Seattle very quick. As soon as they know it's towards this site, Classic hits the back alley. They trap them from mid-courtyard. The nades connect, and, well, the number is just too much in that round one.
Just a reminder, if you're tuning in late, sure, viewership's been ramping up. It's a big match, and This is a loser's match. Losers out of the event. I don't think many had Seattle in this position outside of probably their family members and friends. But they're here, and they've come to battle. Up 1-0 in the map 5. As Dashy starts to work his way into top round. He's got Prestinni there, and there's a first blood. Classic on the shell. Nice shoulder for the information. Gets the call out and backs up. Numbers to OpTic.
And I like this sometimes. We see this from Dashy. We see it on Raid. We see it on Express at times. He likes to get aggressive, play with those teammates. They have the numbers advantage, but Classic just goes right down the middle. He finds the kill. Is there any trade? They're trying to hunt him down. Doesn't happen. Able to get out with his life. And now you have Octane and Gunless working towards this A site. Now, how does OpTic want to play this, right? Because you got a lot of subs. You got to try and get close and personal, formal inside of that house. Just trying to make sure there's nothing towards the back alley, but bomb being planted. Another retake situation over towards this bomb site.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if Classic has the bomb in hand. We know he's going to send it. We've seen him in the opposition spawn sometimes. He's going, yeah, and he'll get the kill to bring it to 3-3. Now can OpTic get the retake? As Dashy works the cross. And they isolate. Gunless, they can. Scump in from behind. Numbers again to OpTic. 20 seconds to go. They got to work the kills, the defuse, and the jump shot from Dashy. Range true. 13 in the clip. That's enough to win the gunfight, but the read shall out and the trade on point. Dashy on the defuse to tie us up at 1-1.
Yeah, he just didn't know if there was one player on the bomb, so he has to recheck that. But the big kill is that they knew where Gunless was. He puts the trophy down over towards boxes, but it's the flight that comes on through. A nice response. They took their time. A nice teamwork here in the middle of the street. Look at those shots with the 74U. But when he has this out, they are much quicker, right? I mean, they're just taking fights as quickly as possible when Dashy has that, and well, they needed it.
Yeah, it's just not easy to do. Jump shot over the tank, so clean. And if he gets caught there, if he drops, how different that looks. But it's 3 in a row for Dashy. He accounts for 3 of the 4 total kills on the OpTic side. And the big first blood to start us off as well. Now, what do they go to this time offensively? Not the same back alley pressure we saw from Surge. More of a push towards front round.
Yeah, but who is it? It's Classic. Right up the middle of the map into a strong position start. Envoy, though, he may have found the opening. Okay, never mind. I think Prestinni was just doing a jump over the wall. Just trying to see if there was anyone there. And surprised there was. It was Envoy, but he's going to reposition. Still a minute left. Where do they want to work? They're going to go towards this A side. Right now, it's looking that way. Is Scump going to work his way over? But Classic is going to get this information. He has the cross. And once this happens, we'll see. What does Seattle Surge want to do? How do they want to retake this site?
Dashy gets ripped down to 15 health there for the shots from Classic, but he stays alive. Great job playing his life. Some tags in and Classic from the mid position. Dashy heals up, reach-outs, and wins it. Another first blood for Dashy, but Prestinni nearly a second. Scump, though, through on the trade. It's all on Octane now. They slide out. The double chow is in. And I think it's a big round for Dashy again. The first blood, and he might have got the final one, too.
In a key on OpTic's offense, when they're playing around this zone, when they're playing around this site, is Envoy, right? Because he's making sure that there is no pressure mid-courtyard. He's picking up the flank. And then when he finds his timings, he's saying, hey, go. I'm going to help you from up top round. We're going to pinch these guys, and they do just that. But Dashy, the superstar, up to 6 in 1, up to 6 in a row.
Yeah, he carried that 3 streak and finds another nutty play during that one. And yeah, he got hit to like 15 health too, but the heal up, the reach out, it all leads to that bit of magic. I'll see if he can get some streaks. And we talk about the value on different maps. What kind of good use can you get out of him here if he's able to earn them?
A very slow round here from Surge. Classic, just trying to get some info upside top round, but the rest of the team just trying to find a pick. With those ARs, you have Prestinni watching back alley to make sure there's no pressure. So Envoy might throw him a shoulder. Actually, he's going to find the timing. Look at that number 2. Watch that arrow. Again, the playmaker of this team, trying to give them all the info. And, well, that info is going to be, it's an A hit. But Envoy, he might just ruin this round quick.
Can he find the opening? Can they maybe set up Dashy for the streak? Scump will get caught. There's the opener. 2 in front, but Gunless with the reaction time. Another player down to 15 health, but there's the first streak in. Dashy and Formal and Megastar ARs go clutch, and now it's just Gunless. I don't even know how Gunless gets that kill. He's down low health again. Can't dodge the nade. And he will drop. OpTic, hold on. That was a scary moment.
It sure was. I mean, Scump right there. Scump's got to stay alive. He's got to wait for Envoy to make the play, because I think Envoy, he's hoping that, like, he just finds one and then runs away. But instead, I think with Scump going down, he's hoping, or he's got to get 2 kills. That doesn't happen. A quick reaction from Gunless. But in another big round, it is Dashy up to 8-1. You have both streaks on. Standoff can be so strong on offense or defense towards this A site.
What a map this young man is having. How far can he push it? And yeah, the playmaker and Envoy, I guess the question, if he doesn't make those plays, if he's not having a good map, who's going to step up? And the quick answer has been Dashy, but it's Prestinni in this round, lurking near mid tank. Will find Envoy as his struggles will continue a bit. He'll get the 1 and 4. Prestinni gives them the numbers, and they need to get a round win here. At risk of going down 4-1, and this is around the point where they start to rally in the map too. But Dashy's still alive, and Dashy's still got streaks.
And he pings that. I think if it's a 4v4, he calls that in. But he does not want to use a cruise missile that leads to a round loss. He wants to make sure they have even numbers to give them the advantage. So that is what the benefit of Prestinni getting aggressive at the tank does. Gives them that first blood. It's just going to be a traditional round. I mean, they have the info of where the setup is for Seattle. Gunless inside A does get picked into a 3-on-3. They get bombed down. Maybe they can clutch on up, and it's Scump again with a multi-kill. We saw it so much in map 2. The peak, though, from Classic towards the middle of the map. Why not? Of course he's going to be there. They have to get on the bomb. They have to get on the plant. It's going to be a 1v1 Octane versus Formal.
He knows he's got a plant. He knows he's got a plant, so he sends it forward. And Octane closes out a wacky round. It was Prestinni with the first blood, then Scump with the multi. We'll see it again as he makes the play, and you think maybe that's enough for OpTic. But Octane is still in the game, and he makes the final play. And what a necessary round it was for Surge.
Sure was. I mean, yeah, they make it close. We've seen so many plays at that A side around that cube. Just the finesse ability from our players in the league. They can make something out of nothing. Scump almost does it there, but the clock, the really big enemy for OpTic in that round. And, well, that first blood bites them in the butt. But you still have the 2 streaks. You have the round advantage. OpTic in a good position to win this map.
And Dashy finally dies, which probably bodes well for Seattle Surge.
There's that aggression up middle of the map.
Envoy gets his second in the game. There's the first blood. Classic, though, he's still holding the tags are in. Down to 30 health goes Formal, but he's still up. And the help comes in to keep him up. And then, once again, the Classic gets shots in. If he doesn't get a kill, it's Dashy that's going to put him down. Gunless now, last up, 1v3. 40 to go. As OpTic pushed to go up by 2 again. You can see where bomb is. This is not going to be the easiest thing for Gunless.
Yeah, bomb is where it's a classic position, right? I mean, good luck getting this one. Formal watching the cross. And especially with streaks, they have to be ready for this. Even on these offensive rounds, watch the aggression from Seattle into Brown early in the round, because they know that he has streaks, right? So they're going to try to do what they did last defense, get an early pick. Don't allow him to use those streaks. So OpTic, all 4 of them need to stay alive where they can use the streaks to work a bomb or get that bomb down. Give them the numbers advantage, but get ready for the aggression out of Seattle. Either back alley or Brown. It looks like that's going to be the play call. 3 members right up towards that mid-courtyard.
Try and get numbers quickly. But it's really safe, you can see, for OpTic. They've got the 3 stack. The lone guy will be Envoy with all 4 up. That's going to be the call for the cruise. What can it find? The deep wrap in. The hover, and right in it goes, but it's not going to connect. So all 4 Surge members will stay up. But the bomb goes down here for OpTic.
Now, well, you need Dashy to stay alive. He's your key. He finds the first blood, but he's got the artillery. You still have Scump in the sight, and well, maybe you don't even need the artillery. Formal finds another one. That would be best case scenario. The Cruise opens up the bomb site. They get it into a 4v4, and it is perfect. Perfect on OpTic in that round.
I feel like I think Dashy's killed Classic like 4 or 5 times. And that, they're big just because you mentioned the unpredictability. You can be in spots maybe you don't expect. Well, Dashy has been on top of it. And now, as you hear the crowd roar, just one more round needed to move on and eliminate Seattle Surge from Major 5. Or can Surge rip off 4 straight? It would start here on offense. But that artillery still looming. Trophy out, hit on. Quick plant. This Classic will just work to get in. Dashy.
This might be too late though on the plant.
I mean, on the street.
They might dodge this.
They're able to dodge it. They go 1 for 1. Can you win the round with all streaks exhausted? But of course it's Envoy working the flank. On the other side is Duo, and Scump gets a kill. Classic by himself. Act up, tagged up, and dropped in OpTic. They will win the map 5 and stay alive at Major 5.
Well, Greenwall fired up. Much better search and destroy here in this match out of OpTic. Quick on the reactions. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. A nice round from Seattle, honestly, because that artillery doesn't turn into much, but into the 3v3. It's Scump, it's Envoy on the flank, able to clutch it on up in this game 5.
And what a win it was. For whatever reason, when these two teams match up, we know we're going the distance, but Surge obviously get a big upset to get to this point, but the result against OpTic the same. OpTic get it done through S&D, but Joe, that's what the focus is going to need to be going forward, because they're going to be playing better and better Surge teams the deeper they go.
Well, yeah, I actually think it's the opposite. They cannot have lackluster hard points. I mean, their control, they can compete with the top 3. But in terms of their hard point and their surges, they need to get that sort of balance that we see from our top teams together. We'll see if they can do it. It's a long day tomorrow. Heck of a game 5 there. But for Seattle, what a run. One of the biggest upsets ever in COD history over to Atlanta FaZe earlier today. But, you know, for those veterans, you just want to see them succeed, and, well, they'll have to wait till next year.
What a map it was from Dashy. 8 in a row to get the streaks, dominating in the first blood category early in the game. And the fans are happy to see the win, but Bruce had himself a map.
Yeah, I mean, when they needed someone to step on up, it was Bruce, right? He gets those streaks, 8 kills in a row, wins them a couple of early rounds. And you need that on standoff. You need an AR willing to take those gunfights, and, well, you got Dashy on the team, so that's pretty darn good.
Unbelievable. And yeah, I don't know how much of a factor it ended up playing, but I wish I could see exactly how many times he killed Classic. Just making sure he could get to some spots to be a thorn in their side. But there you see the overall stats. What a map. And actually the streak got to 9. 11 and 3 out of Dashy. Just incredible. And you gotta love to see it. If you're an OpTic fan, they get the W. The chants continue. And we've got Formal on stage with Jess.
We are here for your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight with none other than Formal. So congrats on the dub. You guys have really been able to turn it on in Stage 5. How happy are you with the way you and the team are playing lately?
I'm just happy we got through today. It got really, really hairy in that series, but I'm glad we clutched up, and I think we can make it deeper on the rest of the tournament.
As you can hear, the Greenwall are out in full force here. I mean, what is it like to play in front of fans again?
You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing every time, bro. It's been way too long, and I'm so happy that you guys are back. We love you guys, and we appreciate it for real. Thank you, guys.
Beautifully said. So finally, you're taking on Empire tomorrow. What do you need to do? What do you need to clean up to really clinch that win and move on to the semifinals?
We just got to play our game. When we play our game, we do a lot better. We fed into their game the last series, and we lost both hard points. So we're just going to go back, practice, and just prepare, and we'll be good.
All right, well, thank you so much. Once again, this has been your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight with Formal. Back over to the caster.
Well, Joe, kind of to your point, the hard point has to be better, and you heard Formal say the last time they played, they lost both hard points. Can they get a better performance against Empire? But I just think everyone in the world is looking forward to that match, considering everything that goes down between those two teams, all the trash talk, the history with Crim. It's a matchup we love to see. Some words will be spoken.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I think they have to be better. You even heard Crim say we have to clean some things up. You know, LA Thieves made a couple of mistakes that really costed them that match. But yeah, Dallas versus OpTic, but Dallas 100% had their number last time. Beat them in winners round 1. Were able to take them out in losers bracket. They dominated that series. So should be a fun one tomorrow morning.
Absolutely will be. But now let's check out our Scump play of the game.
Not morning.
It's going to go to Dashy. Yeah, morning somewhere.
Yeah,
Joe, morning somewhere.
Yeah, whatever.
The Scump play of the game. Dashy, what a map he had, especially in the early going. As the flanks for Envoy in the plays, sometimes they paid off, sometimes they didn't, but the constant force of nature was Dashy throughout map 5.
Yeah, I mean, this is in that 3 versus 4, right? Envoy, he's trying to work that flank, but it comes down to the ARs. Well, into a 1 versus 1. Gunless, he's got a 74U, but it's the patience to hold on to that grenade, allows them to clutch on up. That leads to streaks for Dashy, which leads to the map victory for OpTic.
Yeah, the game 2, I mean, maybe it's the Scump 1v2. They're the 3v4. Those clutch moments with down in numbers, they brought it back, and you could feel the shift in the game as OpTic get the win in the search and destroy. But all of this is leading towards playoffs. Teams battling for their CDL points to get in the best spot they can. It'll be August 19th to 22nd. Tickets are on sale now. If you're here, well, you're probably having a great time. You're probably going to want to go there as well. If you're not, you're probably seeing everybody having fun. And you're getting jealous. You want to get in on the live atmosphere, the live action for Call of Duty. It's the best, and we're happy to be back to it. It's been a long time. We've been waiting for this. But that will do it for the match. OpTic, they win in 5. They move on. The Cinderella story for Surge is dead. We have one more match, the winner's bracket final, to round out the night. Before we get there, we head to break. And on the other side, Lottie and Nameless to break down that intense series. Oh, he gets a couple shots. Yeah, as well.
It's what, one top tank, one stacked up in trash. The trades are going to be here. There's just been no window of opportunity for Florida to get anything done this entire series. I mean, I don't know if Røkkr made a mistake in any of these 3 maps. This has just been like pure gameplay coming out of Minnesota, and they sealed the deal.
He should.
Maybe he's really gotten into yoga, just really gotten flexible, just yeah, just practicing his form. I don't know.
Well, that's 5 in a row for aBeZy. I think he got the 6th maybe right as they got the round win.
The bomb's still down. Kenny has eyes on the push now. If the play is being made, it's got to happen now. Oh my God. Chance, we're going to hold our breath for a moment. There's a lot of time to work with on the clock, and Kenny is going to post up in a corner. Scump's going to run by, damage dealt. It's enough to get the kill though. Scump, back and forth we go. 15 seconds, Kenny holds the line, gets the kill. The reverse sweep completed.
Deep into this round 2. 2 versus 2. Shotzzy gets the kill. It'll be a 2v1. It's all going to be on Phoenix here. Try and work the clutch. Ton of time on the clock. Where bomb is down. Killing Shotzzy from that spot is going to be hard. Oh, he gets a couple shots.
Okay. Yeah, it was.
He hits as well. And then he hits the shots. Unbelievable from CleanX.